Hello students, with the series of lectures I am going to start today my lecture number 4, which will be talking on the type of self regulating arc, and it will be talking of summary of recommended outputs, type of welding processes, definition of arc length and definition of arc initiation, and why this lecture, and why you should listen to this lecture, because earlier lectures were based on basics of power sources. Then we have talked about current sources and voltage sources, how they are going to affect the welding arcs, and when there will be a constant current, what is going to happen to the voltage, and when the voltage will be constant, what is going to happen. And then we have also seen in our last lecture that there is effect of current, and the effect is of the melting of the electrodes, and voltage controls the arc length and the cone of the arc. But these the two parts which we have studied was controlled. You are the one who are going to you are controlling that. But what about when it is self regulating arc, and how, and there the arc which you are getting was under your control. You can control the voltage, you can control the current, and you have the effect of that. But here what is going to happen when and is this possible that there may be a self regulating arc, because if the voltage differs, the cone size will shrink and the length will shrink. We have seen the diagram, and but what is going to happen when this happens, and it is going to self regulate it. So, it is in automatic mode, whatever is the effect on the arc, the current and voltage adjust itself in such a way that it will have no effect. The productivity of the welding will not go, is not going to affect. So, there the pressure was with the power, the correct type of power sources, we are controlling the voltage or the current depending on the type of requirement or type of welding we are doing. Here in self regulating arc, with the automatic feed, constant speeds, small diameter consumable electrode nowadays available. So, arc length is maintained by self regulating arc. So, nowadays what is happening is that we have automatic feed, constant speed and small diameter consumable electrode are available. So, this is not helping. This is not only helping in self regulating arcs, it is also helping to improve the productivity of the welding, and it is also helping in getting the best output possible, because we have already seen in my last lecture, you have already seen that what is the effect of voltage, what is the effect of current. But if something can control these two on its own, then the arc between the base material and the torch, if it can regulate itself in such a manner, then we can have best productive output, welding output. Self regulating is one which governs the melting oblique burn off rate of the electrode by changing the current, so that feed rate becomes equal to melting rate for maintaining the arc length. So, this is only possible because of the type of consumable electrodes nowadays available. So, in self regulating arc, what is the advantage? You can see the line on my slide, melting oblique burn off rate, both can be controlled. So, there the burn off rate or the melting rate and the type of, because of the voltage, the cone you are getting and the arc length you are getting, all things will be under control and will be optimum, so that if there is a slight difference also in the arc or something happens, that automatically changes and adjust the adjust the quality of welding. I will show you this graph. Now, try to see this graph. Try to see this graph. So, again that whatever graph you have seen there, the voltage graph and the current graph, constant voltage graph and the constant current graph, recall that. And if you see this graph also talks about the same, but how it is different from that I will show you. You can see the voltage is shown in the y axis and current is shown in the x axis, and this is the arc length. Now, I will explain here what is arc length. Arc length is the gap between the welding electrode and the base material. So, this is, suppose this is the base material, that you put the you bring the torch near to the workpiece. So, in that case, the gap which you can see between my finger and my palm, if my palm is a workpiece, then remember one thing, the difference between the gap between that is the arc length, fine, and it has effect of voltage and current also, remember one thing. So, here what is happening is, you can see this is increase in arc length, and you can see these intermediate point. I will explain you what are these intermediate. This is the arc length, increasing arc length. You can see the increasing arc length from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. We will talk on this. We will talk on this. Operating point is the point of intersection of power sources characteristic with the arc characteristics. Rise in arc voltage decreases the welding current significantly. So, rise in the arc voltage decreases the welding current significantly. Decrease in the welding current lowers the melting rate of the electrode, thus decreasing the arc gap. If electrode is feed at constant speed, reverse phenomena happens if the arc length decreases, shifting to operating point 2 to 1. So, here what is happening is that it is self regulating, either the changes whatever is coming, the shifting from 1 to 2, 2 to 3 is happening because of the changes, and it is self regulating. It will bring back to the correct voltage and the current, so that you will get the best arc, you will get the best welding output. So, summary of recommended outputs types by welding processes. Shield metal arc welding, this is SMAW processes, and gas tungsten arc welding GTAW processes are both generally considered mutual processes. This means you control all welding variables by hand, like travel angle, work angle, travel speed, arc length, and the rate in which the electrode is fed into the joint, all by hand. Constant current is preferred in this type of output from the power source. They generally considered semi-automatic process. Here, whatever of arc welding we are doing, the general arc welding we are doing in a workshop also will be considered in this category. So, shielded metal arc welding and tungsten arc welding comes under constant current type of output power sources. So, it is an automatic process. Here I will like to tell you that this type of welding is always done in a semi automatic mode. You can take these parameters in your hand and you can do on your own. You can change these parameters like travel speed, arc length, because it is in your hand, you can change slightly. So, this type of welding comes under constant current. However, the rate in which the electrode is feed into the joint known as wire feed speed WFS is controlled automatically with constant speed wire feeder, such as with the GMAW, that is gas metal arc welding processes. This is a semi automatic process and constant voltage is preferred here. So, remember one thing, whether it is constant current or constant voltage depends, if it is self regulating, then it depends on whatever type it is going to adjust itself, which I have shown in the first slide, itself according to the requirements, according to the changes happening. When you do by hand also, if you change the arc length, it will regulate the consumable electrode will regulate itself. So, summary of recommended outputs, type of welding, these are some of the welding outputs you can see. Output type like submerged SMAW, GTAW, GMAW, FCAW, SAW. So, what type of output types are? When you go in the industry, you will find that on the walls, if you are using the welding machine there. So, any welding machines you are using, it will be there on the shop floor. So, CC is current, constant current, GTAW is constant current, GMAW is constant voltage, GMAW is constant voltage, FCAW is constant voltage, SAW is constant voltage or constant current supply. So, this gives you because you are now going towards advanced welding processes from the basic processes. So, these welding you will come across in my other coming lectures, where you are going to understand the mechanism, how this and working principle application of these welding. So, there you should be very clear that what type of output type it is. It is constant current output or it is constant voltage output. Now, we will take some of the important definitions which you must know before coming to the actual welding processes. The first one in this row is definition of arc length. Arc length is called as arc gap. I have already shown you, if my palm is a workpiece, and this is the welding torch or the electrode is attached with it. So, the gap you can see between my finger and the palm is the arc gap, and this is what that gap is called as arc length. It is the distance between the part that has to be welded and the electrode tip. The arc length depend upon the arc stability, the weld current, the concentration of the part. Part means here the workpiece, the concentration in that workpiece, the type of material we are talking about. So, again when I say arc stability, it will depend upon the power sources, weld current, it will depend on the power sources, type of material which we are going to take. So, these arc length or the arc gap have a very vital role in getting the best quality of welding. Definition of arc initiation. This is the second definition in this row. The touch method of initiating the arc is normally used for the processes in which the mobile arc is employed. However, it has two variants depending on the size, diameter of the electrode. For thick electrodes, the arc initiation is done by touching the electrode to the workpiece and then withdrawing it. So, try to understand that what is arc initiation. Whenever you start working on a base material or the job or the workpiece, the arc has to be initiated, and there are two methods of arc initiation: touch start method and the field start method. I will take one by one, but basically what I try to mean from this definition is that the arc initiation is done simply. You have seen if you have done welding in the workshop, I always say that if you have worked in the workshop, you must have seen many things, and here also arc initiation you have seen. If your trainer must have shown you that the welding torch, just by touching the workpiece, he has started the process. That is what is basically arc initiation. So, there are two methods, touch start method and field start method. We will take one by one, and remember students, you have seen that process, but what is happening at that stage you must understand. You must have seen that your trainer must have touched the electrode. If my palm is the workpiece, he must you must have seen that he must have touched the workpiece, and just by touching the workpiece he must have get the arc and the welding process has started. If you yourself have done it, you must have done the same with your own hand. So, interestingly, what is happening at that point I am going to tell you today. So, see this diagram. If you see this diagram, there are two things. One is in the first diagram I have shown you a power source, a base plate. Base plate is the workpiece on which you are working, and the electrode, and because of the touching of electrode here, because of the touching of electrode, you can see, because of the touching of electrode a short circuit happens. A short circuit happens, and as a result the arc is going to generate, and this, why this arc is generating has been shown here. If you see metal vapors, ionized gases and charged particles. So, when the person has touched the base metal, this is what exactly is happening, and exactly charged particles are generating, and because of that the arc is generating. This method is used in case of all common welding processes. This is whatever welding you do, this is a common process which is touch start method is always there. This is the first very step you do in the welding, wherever you do, in respect of your geographical location, wherever you do. In this method, the electrode is brought in contact with the workpiece and then pulled apart to create a very small gap. The electrode is brought to the workpiece and with the workpiece and then pulled apart to create a very small gap, arc gap. Touching of electrode to the workpiece causes short circuiting, resulting in the flow of heavy current, which in turns lead to heating, partial melting and even slight evaporation in the metal at the electrode tip. So, again in this, heating of electrode produces few free electrons. You can see here I have shown in my diagram few free electron charged particles. You can see this, charged particles are there, few free heating of electrode produces few free electrons due to thermal ionization. Additionally, dissociation of metal vapors also produces charged particles, electron and positively charged ions, and this is the cause of arc, because the person who is touching it and just pulling back, creating that arc, and after that what is happening, the ionization, the electrons are coming on the surface, and because of that the arc is creating. On pulling up the electrode apart from the workpiece, flow of current starts through these charged particle, and for a moment arc is developed to use the heat of electric arc for welding purpose. It is necessary that after initiation of arc it must be maintained and stabilized. So, the arc should be, whatever arc is created, it must be stabilized, because if you are not going to stabilize it, the arc, if you keep increasing the arc length, you better know what is going to happen. The current will change, the voltage will change, it will have its effect, and it can have an adverse effect of on the workpiece. Remember, your trainer must have told you to move the torch in a zigzag fashion on the workpiece. The basic guidelines every trainer gives whenever you have done the welding in workshop, your in the lab, you must have been given one instruction by your trainer: bring the torch near to the workpiece, get the arc as I have told you, and then move in a zigzag fashion by controlling the arc gap. Do not move that, keep on changing that arc length. So, remember one thing, that arc gap is very important to get a better quality welds. Without that, and it comes from practice, my dear students, it comes from practice, and whatever you see on the roadside the welder is doing, remember one thing, he has lot of practice on it. That is why when he do the welding, he knows in his mind that arc gaps need to be controlled by his hand, and as a result these things all, whatever is happening, touch start method and all, is the he gets the best quality. The second method which we have is arc initiation field start. So, now you remember one thing, the touch start method is the basic of whatever arc weldings we are doing, there we are using touch start method, but for advanced welding processes we use this arc initiation field start method. This method is used in case of automatic welding or advanced welding operations, and in this the process where electrode has tendency to form inclusion in the weld metal, like in TIG welding, tungsten inert gas welding, or electrode remains inside the nozzle. Suppose when I will be taking tungsten inert gas welding, the electrode is in the nozzle. So, from there only the field starts, because of this field start the arc develops. In this method, high strength electric field of around 107 volt is applied between the electrode and the workpiece, so that electrons are released from the cathode electromagnetic field emission. See in the figure 1, what is happening here? This is a field start method. So, in this method, this is advanced welding equipment you can imagine. Suppose this is the tungsten inert gas welding. So, around 107 volt is applied between the electrode and the workpiece. Electrode, this is electrode and this is workpiece. So, in this, between this the voltage differences, and because of this it releases electromagnetic field and it releases the ions, and as a result what happens, the process starts. In this method, high strength electric field of around 1007 volts is applied between the electrode and the workpiece, so that electron are released from the cathode electromagnetic field because of electromagnetic field emission. Development of high strength field leads to ejection of electron from the cathode spots. Once the free electron are available in the arc gap, normal potential difference between the electrode and the workpiece ensures the flow of charged particles to maintain the welding arc. So, friends, you must have seen the diagram. Diagram looks same for uh, field start as well as touch start, but the difference here is that by touching you create the arc, and here in the field start you apply a very high electric field and thus you start the process. So, there is a difference, you are not touching it, remember one thing, when you are not touching it, but because of the very high strength electric field you are starting the process. So, arc initiation is always preferred for automatic welding, advanced welding processes. So, this must be clear to you that we are studying advanced welding. So, this is the important part for you to understand. So, what type of applications of field start is? I have purposefully given this slide. This method is commonly used in mechanized welding processes such as plasma arc welding, GTAW process, where direct constant contact between electrode and workpiece is not possible. This is especially I have to, because my students must understand that we are going to in coming lectures talk about advanced welding processes also. So, in that case we should be very much clear that the workpiece and the torch is not going to come in contact with, the electrode is not going to come in contact. So, how will it start? We will start from the field start. So, with this lecture I think that it has made you clear two, three things, that first is the current and voltage have, in the last lecture we have talked about our current and voltage sources. Here you have understood that the electrode has also some role. New electrodes, they are self regulating features. So, whatever current and voltage difference is there, they can self regulate it. As a result, you get the better productive output. The you have understood the what is arc welding, arc length, and what is arc initiation. You have understood today in this arc initiation, and in arc initiation there are two types, touch start and field start. I hope today you must have enjoyed my lecture, and with this information you can have the references and you can read more on these topics and can understand the topic in a better way. My slide will help you in that. So, thank you very much.